Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Lee Cara. Oh, there I am. And this is Unleash Your Light right here at the Akashic Academy. I am so grateful to be here this morning. Oh, we got our first orb of the morning. That was beautiful. Now, this is another one of those shows that I have to give you a warning. It might be a little bumpy, y'all. I think that's why the orbs are coming out to support me already, because I'm going to say some stuff and it might kind of make you go, what the heck is this chickie talking about? But I want you, if you get triggered, if something makes you feel something, right? Anything that gives you a strong reaction is a place in you that needs a little bit of care and a little bit of love. So once again, another orb. There we go. I am going to give a warning, trigger warning, whatever the heck you want to call it. I'm going to talk about some tough stuff today. I am going to talk about some tough stuff today. And let me just jump this right off the bat. Okay. Don't take it personally, but it's all about you. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about when things happen to you, right? When people hurt you, when people attack you, when people betray you, all of those things that happen in life that kind of get us, if we're in our regular human mind, get us down on ourselves, get us mad, make us want to lash back, make us want to lash in on ourselves, all of those things that happen, and how we shouldn't take them personally, but they are all about us. So it might trigger you. It might make you feel some type of way. However you put that, and that's okay. If you can't watch it all in one sitting, hi, Kelly, welcome. If you can't watch it all in one sitting, take a breath, step back from it, save it. There's a little button in the top right corner that says save this video, and you can watch it later. You can watch it in pieces. But the very fact that it makes you feel something, even if that something is anger, F this chick, means you need to watch it. It means that whatever I am going to be talking about, whatever I am saying, is something that needs to be heard by you. Because even though your human may reject what I am saying, if it triggers you in such a deep way, it probably means that somewhere in your core, it's touching a wound. And some people don't like to think about that, because a lot of people will approach spirituality as if it's all love and light, and anything that makes me feel bad is bad for me. And so I shouldn't deal with any of that, and I'm not going to think about it. And I'm not going to think about how crappy I feel, and I'm not going to think about how bad I feel. Hi, Raquel, welcome. Brandy, mwah. So all of those type of things, I don't care about. I want you to sit in your yucky stuff. I want you to feel those feelings. I want you to think about what the heck is going on. Okay. So we're going to start at the very beginning, because like I said, this is a tough topic and I always go over in my time. I don't want to go over. Okay. But we're going to start at the very much, Kelly, removing triggers. Kelly, I think that that's very interesting. I'm actually going to put this up because we're going to talk about this right this second. If Kelly, you have removed those triggers because you've healed them and they no longer trigger you, right? Then you're okay. Then that's beautiful. If you have removed things from your life because they trigger you, and if that step back into your life, you would still be triggered, you have some healing to do. And when you remove things and don't deal with them, they still fester inside of you. If a piece of wood goes into your skin deep and you break that piece of wood off at the top and you can't see it anymore, so it's not upsetting you that there's a big piece of wood in your skin and it heals over and you think everything is good, there's still that much wood inside of your skin that's now going to fester and infect you. And it doesn't just infect you in a way that you can see. It will affect your bloodstream, right? It'll affect your immune system. It'll start making weird side effects happen. And this is what happens in our lives when we don't actually deal with these things that get done to us by other people, or that trigger us, or that make us mad, or that make us feel something, is that we then turn around and say, oh, I'm not dealing with that, and we put it out of our lives. It's like the alcoholic that works in a bar. If you're an alcoholic and you can work in a bar, then you've really worked through that. But if you're an alcoholic and you can't be around people who are drinking, then you're still in that process of working on that wound. And maybe that's an extreme triggering example, isn't it? But that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. So I want to start in the space of duality. Okay. I want to start in the space of duality because last week I talked about shifting your perspective, which I think is a really big thing to do. And I see a lot of you popping in here and talking about the negativity and the things that have happened. You are in the right spot. Please stick it out for the half hour, okay? If you can. If you can't, save it. So shifting your perspective about this is exactly what you're going to have to do if you are still in that space of pushing those things that happen to you out the window so you don't have to feel bad, okay? So I first want to talk about the concept of duality. When we think about a yin-yang circle, right? It has the two pieces, one dark, one light. And a lot of people look at that and they see that as two pieces stuck together. I am going to help you with that, Raquel. I'm definitely going to address that. Two pieces stuck together, right? And some people will think, oh, it's masculine and it's feminine. And some people will think it's dark and it's light. It's good and it's evil, right? But it's really one whole piece. It's one whole piece that balances the other piece out. So this circle is never ending. And the line that goes through it is the flowing of the parts. Now, when we see it, it looks like a static division, right? But if we were to picture it in a 3D way, with this sphere spinning like our Earth, it would be, that line would be constantly flowing back and forth in a balance between the two pieces, okay? Between the sides, the duality. And when we experience this in our regular lives, when we experience this in our emotional thing, in our emotional world, we don't like to see it that way. So as you're in this flow and it goes back and forth between the two sides, when something happens to us that hurts, when somebody does something to us, when somebody betrays us or lies to us or hurts us, yes, Kelly, like in and out breath. When somebody does these things that feel like an attack, our human feels attacked. Our place of pain that has been created by what we've gone through in our lifetime will often feel attacked. And sometimes we lash back out. Sometimes we get angry. Sometimes we turn it inward. Everybody kind of reacts a little bit differently to being, we'll call it being attacked, being betrayed, being hurt. Okay. So when these things happen to us, they're actually part of a duality. Because if you believe in the law of attraction, which most of you here follow the law of attraction, believe that we are manifesting in this moment. I've done many shows about what you are doing and how you are reacting today creates what comes next for you, right? And what you did yesterday and how you reacted created what's happening today, okay? So when something happens today, first of all, it's happening for you, not to you. And that's the biggest shift you can take right off the bat, is that whatever is happening, whatever this person has done, whether they have physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually hurt you, it is for your benefit, even if they don't know that, and even if you can't figure out how it is. The universe is doing this for you because of some unresolved issue that you have, or because of some role that you are meant to play in this in this time period of your life and their life, whoever is doing that to you. Okay. So I'll really quickly just kind of give you on the one hand, if somebody has done something to you, hi, Robin, welcome. If somebody has done something to you, betrayed you, hurt you, whatever, it is often a result of an issue that you have, that the universe is constantly repeating this pattern of behavior in those around you so that you can correct that incorrect core belief about yourself that attracts that lesson. So one of the things I use often is feeling unheard. Uncle Dave at the dinner table when you were 5 shushed you and told you to shut up. Nobody cares what you have to say. Now, for the rest of your life, you're constantly put in these positions where you feel like nobody hears you, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's with partners. You feel like nobody ever hears you. People do things that you tell them specifically not to do because they're not hearing you. You're always in that, nobody hears me, my voice doesn't matter. And whether you turn that inward or whether you are getting angry at the people around you because they aren't listening, nobody's listening to me, you are attracting that because of something that is incubating inside of you, and the universe keeps giving you an opportunity to heal that. It's a repeating pattern in your life that is coming from something within you. Okay, so that's the first part of that. But I'm not saying blame the victim, because there is no blame. Or the other part of that, where something keeps coming to you over and over again, is about a role that you are supposed to play. It is about a spot that you are supposed to be in, maybe not for yourself, but for people around you. Sometimes we play a particular role in other people's lives that we don't see right in this moment, right? So perhaps something that you are doing, whether it's trusting when you shouldn't, or whether it's, being the sounding board or being the one who gets kicked in the teeth, sometimes that is a piece of someone else's story that you are meant to play. Now, I always believe that that piece of someone else's story also ties into your own issues or your own goals, like the place that the universe wants you to be going. If it's happening for you, why would we change it? Because that's the point of it happening, Gerald. That's the point of it happening. And I'm going to put that right up here on the board. It's happening for you so that you can shift an incorrect core belief that you are carrying, either about yourself or about the world around you. It is happening for you so that you can turn around and heal that place that is attracting that over and over and over again. So now, knowing that it's happening for you, that the universe is bringing this to you, that there is a plan for everything, that everything is synchronicities, right? And if you're here, you probably believe, I would say 9 out of 10 of those things that I was just listing about the law of attraction and about how we are creating our universe, we create our reality, we create the experiences that come to us. Now, here's the first key. I'm gonna help you. I am an action person. I don't like to just yap about it. I like to give you something you can actually do in your life. So we're gonna break down that phrase of don't take it personally, but it's all about you. Don't take it personally. So somebody comes at you. Somebody yells at you. Somebody calls you names. Somebody at work is talking crap about you. Somebody's spreading lies about you. Somebody cheats on you. Somebody breaks your heart. Your twin talks bad about you. These are just some of the things that I've seen in this little group of viewers right here. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Now, how can I not take it personally? They're talking about me, right, Raquel? She's talking about me. How can I not take it personally? They cheated on me after 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years together. My twin has been with me since birth and they're lying to me. How can I not take it personally? Because it's not about you. Now, I know that the second half of this is it's all about you. Did you see that one? I know the second half of this is it's all about you, but we're getting there. I promise. That's the duality, okay? That's the two parts of the yin and the yang, and we're going to get there. The actions that this person is taking, the actions that are coming to you from the universe are not only what you are attracting, but they're also about the experience that that person has had and is having. Okay, exactly, Kelly. That's right where I'm going. You are reading my mind. When other people lash out, and when we lash out, when we express that anger, when we tell that lie, when we go and talk crap behind someone's back, when they do it, when we do it, it's coming from a place inside of us that feels afraid, insecure, angry, jealous. It comes from these places that are created in us by our own trauma and pain that we've been through. That place that Uncle Dave put you in when he said, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, little girl, shush, might over the years make you yell louder, be ruder, talk more, and talk over people, run over people because you want to be heard. That might be how you react to those experiences over and over again in your life. And now, when somebody makes you feel unheard, maybe you curse them out. Maybe you yell at them. Maybe you go around talking about how that person doesn't know what they're talking about. It could be anything. And maybe that's what they're doing too. It's not really about that person who's doing that or saying that. It's about Uncle Dave. Back when you were 5 at the dinner table, and you've been holding on to it all these years. So now it's about Uncle Dave and your cousin Bob and that girl at school and that teacher that didn't listen to you and your first boyfriend and that boss, because you had a string of people in your life that haven't listened to you. And this is the same thing that everyone around you is going through. Everyone around you is a divine entity. Everyone around you is on the same journey that you are, only an individualized path. And so each one of them is experiencing their own pain. Hi, Leah. Is experiencing their own pain, experiencing their own crap in the way that they are and processing it in the way that they are. And if they aren't aware, self-aware, then they will flop that stuff out on you. They will flop that stuff out into the universe and on those people that trigger that memory of their Uncle Dave, whoever that may be. Okay, so when someone else does that to you, you have to, first of all, not take it personally. Samantha, I'm getting there. We only have 10 minutes left in the show, so I promise I'm not that far away from it. So the first thing that we have to do is to understand that it's not really about me. Now, I may have been the one that lied, that cheated. I may have done something to them, either knowingly or unknowingly. I may have treated them in a way that triggered their own issues. I may have hurt them. I may have said something terrible. But no matter what I did, I shouldn't take it personally when they react, okay? But what I should be doing is knowing that it's all about me, right? So even if their anger at you is completely unjustified and you are completely innocent in your mind, there is still a correlation. There is still a duality. There is still a space in which you are both to blame and not to blame, where you are both the cause and not the cause, where you are both the reason and not the reason. Because everything that happens has a duality. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And those are the things that make the flow. So by knowing that it's all about you, even though we're not taking what they're saying to us personally, you're a piece of garbage, you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a horrible person, you don't know what you're doing, da-da-da-da-da. First of all, we have to know our own truth, right? We have to know who we are. We cannot allow the opinions of others to affect who we are as a person, but we do have to be responsible for our own transformation and our own healing and our own actions. And so while our first reaction is usually going to be, That's not true. I didn't do that. That's your problem, not my problem. And a lot of spiritual people actually do this where they'll say, it's not my problem how it's received. I'm just living my truth. And they often say it in a very condescending way where they kind of make you feel, depending on the life that you've had, like either F you or, oh my God, maybe they're right and I'm a terrible person and I don't know what I'm doing and now my whole spiritual path is busted and I don't know, like they can send you in a tailspin, because it's often the people with the most ego who will say, I've done what I need to do for my side and how you deal with it is your problem. Now, that's true to a point. However, I had a very interesting conversation with someone who's very well known, and I will not mention their name here, but I did a show specifically about this where I was saying, oh, that was a good one. Did you guys see that one? Where I was saying, even though you shouldn't take it personally, that person is calling you an asshole, you might be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? You might have said something in a way that wasn't kind. Were you personally acting from a place of unconditional love? Were you speaking from kindness and empathy? Or were you putting your opinion out there or putting your actions out there and going, I don't care how they land, that's your problem. I know who I am. And yes, that's a part of the spiritual practice, but also part of it is having empathy for other people where they are in their journey. And if you are a spiritual person, or if you are even just trying to be a better person, understanding that not everyone is at the place that you're at is about kindness in your delivery, is about the way that you interact. It's about interacting with them from your unconditional love in that divine core, and not interacting with them from the trauma and that other piece of you that's been created from the pain you've had in your life. That's the piece that wants to react. That's the piece that wants to pop off and lash out, right? And even if you are not taking it personally, you may still be tempted to pop off, even maybe in a kind way, right? But the best thing that you can do, Samantha Jade, I'm going to talk about that right now. How can you let it go? This is my whole, I've done multiple shows about this. First of all, you have to forgive them. No matter what they've said, no matter what they've done, you have to forgive them. Now, forgiveness does not mean that you are condoning what they did, or that you're agreeing with what they said, or that it's okay that they said it. When you forgive them, it's for you, it's not for them. That's part of it being all about you. Because you're recognizing from that place of empathy that whatever they're going through is painful for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have hurt you. They lash out in pain because they're in pain, right? Hurt people hurt people. Isn't that the way the saying goes? So you have to immediately recognize, it takes time, but you get to a point where as soon as it comes out of their mouth, you forgive them, because you understand, oh, they're lashing out because they're hurt. They're lashing out because they're in pain. They're lashing out because they're angry, or because they're insecure. They're boasting and acting like a jackass because they're insecure about who they are. The louder they talk, the less that they actually feel whatever it is that they're saying sometimes. So you immediately have to forgive them that. Now, does that mean you have to stay in a friendship, relationship, situation with them? No. Now, if you're at work, you're obviously still forced to be in the same situation with them, but maybe you can shift how you receive what they're saying so it doesn't trigger you. Because if you're at work, you're not friends with them. You don't have to have that connection of intimacy with every person that you meet, even though you are divinely connected to every one of them. And even though you understand that pain is pain, and that the way that they're reacting is something that is inside of you also. Woo, that was a good one. I did not see that in front of my eyes, by the way, guys. It was literally on the video, like right here, but I saw nothing in front of my eyes. That was a good one. Recognizing that what is going on is for your benefit, and knowing that it's also for their benefit. Because what they're doing to you is also for their own lesson that they're on. And isn't it amazing how the universe can put these things together and orchestrate these connections that actually help both sides if both sides are open to that healing? I saw a quote today from Frank Zappa, and it said, "A mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open." And I believe the same thing about our hearts. I believe the same thing about our hearts. If your hearts are not open, then they're not going to work properly. And yes, it is a very difficult thing to forgive people who have hurt you. It is a very difficult thing to forgive people who are angry and narcissists. I did a whole show, negative people, naysayers and narcissists, or something along those lines, talking about dealing with those types of people. We deal with those types of people because they're in our lives because of something in us that doesn't feel good enough that these people can then feed off of. It is a very complicated and yet incredibly simple situation because it's all about the duality. And no matter what situation you are in, no matter what is hurting you, it is for you. And that's hard to take in some really extreme situations of physical abuse and that sort of thing. And I would never condone staying in a situation where you are in danger, right? I would never condone that. I get that a lot when I say the forgiveness thing. You can forgive someone from way across the room. You can forgive someone from way across the country. You can forgive someone who has already passed on. Because forgiveness does not mean that you ever have to engage with that person again. Forgiveness does not mean that you're saying it's okay for them to be like that. What it is saying is that I understand that you're doing this out of pain. And I'm going to look at my own actions and find out what it was in me that attracted this. Because our issues fit together. I've done many shows about this. Our issues fit together like that yin yang, right? And so the people that are brought into our lives fit into the issues that we have today. And when we heal our own issues, and many of you who are in this awakening notice that when you are healing yourself and changing, transforming at a core level, that those people in your lives tend to start falling off that don't fit into your new vibration. They either shift with you or they fall off, or you master forgiveness and acceptance and understanding. It's definitely a simple and yet difficult thing to do, which all of this is. Love unconditionally others. Love yourself unconditionally. That's pretty much the whole thing between spirituality. I did a show, Dogma plus Devotion equals Division. It doesn't matter what path you're on. It doesn't matter what you believe. The goal of all spiritual practices is, well, maybe there's a few who aren't, is to love yourself unconditionally and through yourself to love others around you unconditionally because they are on that same path, but they may not be at that same place that you are. And so we have to be understanding of us, of that, of them, of their place, of our own place. And if we react to those people in a way that we're not proud of, then that's something in us that we need to work on. If we've done something that triggers someone, that's something in us that we need to work on. And an interesting situation that's come up just recently is that sometimes it's those things that you did yesterday, in the past, that have created where you are today. So where you are today might be in a state of transformation, right? You might be in a place where you're learning forgiveness and you're on that road and you're feeling good about it. And then something from your past pops up. Something which you have sown, some seeds that you have planted back before you had your awakening, pop back into your life and show up today. Some person you had an argument years ago, some breakup from years ago, some job that didn't turn out right, some lie that you told, some road that you took, something that you did back then can show up today because what you did yesterday creates what you did today. And now you're sitting in that space of going, but I'm a good person now and I'm on my spiritual path, or I'm a Christian now and all of that is in the past. It is very tempting to just go, that's the past and I'm not dealing with it. But guess what? It's coming up today for you because it's all about you. It's coming up today because there is some piece of you that is holding on to that experience, even if you think that you put it in a box and put it away. Even if you think that you locked it away in the back of your closet and you don't pay attention to it anymore. Some of us are master compartmentalizers. We're masters of putting things in little boxes. I'm tangled up in my tongue there. And we'll put these little things in boxes and not open them again. You know what happens? You become a hoarder. You become a hoarder in your heart. You become a hoarder in your mind because you're holding on to all these experiences from your past, right? And we think that they don't affect us, but they do pop right back up, especially if you still have that box back there. You haven't opened it up and gone through it and looked at all the stuff and cried over some things and loved over some things and forgave some things. And then you can let go of it. But if you just have that box back there with all that crap from that relationship from 15 years ago, it is very likely that that person or that experience is going to pop right up. Yes, emotional hoarder. That's what it's for. And you may feel like, well, I'm spiritual now and I don't need to go through all that. No, that's exactly why it's coming back to you today. Because now you have the tools to deal with it. And I've done shows about this before, about digging into your past and digging into your pain. And the difference is that when it first happened, you didn't have the tools that you have now. You didn't understand how to love. You didn't understand how to unconditionally understand that other person and have empathy for them, right? When it happened. So when that comes up, we go right back to that place that we were. But guess what? You're not in that place anymore. Now you have tools. Now you have an understanding of how it really works with emotions and how it really works with unconditional love. So now you can sit in that space of that terrible, horrible thing that happened to you and look at it from a completely different perspective. You can look at it from your new perch, your new spot in spirituality. And you can transmute it, heal it, however you like to say it, as you are today, that thing that happened 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Because now you have the tools and it's coming up for you today because today you can handle it properly. So don't turn your back on it. Don't walk away from it. Don't go, guess what? I'm not dealing with that. That's their problem that they're coming back to me. No, it's all about you. It's all about you, but don't take it personally because how they're reacting is their baggage. So you are accountable for what you have done and your thought process and your core beliefs that are attracting those things from the past. But sometimes those core beliefs are your actual healing today will attract those things from the past, those organizers to come in and go through your hordes of emotional issues, right? Action. All right, you guys. So I am super grateful that so many of you have stuck it out for this show. If you have someone in your life who overreacts, if you have someone in your life who really kind of like takes things to the next level or is still in their feelings or is having a hard time dealing with some of the attacks or the things that are coming back up, even on their spiritual journey. I didn't go too woo-woo this show. So you can share this with pretty much anyone. And they'll get something out of it. So I hope that you will share this with people who need it. And I hope every single one of you will pay attention because don't take it personally, but it is all about you. You can always find me right here on this Facebook page at Thursdays live, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But if you are itching for a little bit more of me, you can find me at unleashyourlight.org. I have several of my shows posted there in a blog. You can also sign up for my newsletter. I haven't really activated it too much yet. I'm doing a podcast once a week now. I have a page and a group called Unleash Your Light right here on Facebook that you could join, and it has all of my shows constantly running every single day. So you'll get something new every day. I have them categorized in the playlist among different things you need, all the way from self-development, if you've discovered that you're an empath, to the initial steps of Unleash Your Light, which are the simple things that help you to break through these emotional obstacles that I talk about every single week. So I hope that you will come over and find me. I am so grateful to be here every week. As usual, I have gone over my time by about 7 minutes, but I love every single one of you. And I hope that you guys have a fabulous day. Thank you so very much for joining.